MRecktv.
You stack ones, yo.
The powers that be enforce the mandate. Every day I wake up, they switching up the landscape. The media mixing lies with the truth. Somewhat COVID, death toll stats is all trumped up. The facts uncovering, got a nigga wondering.
Shout out to m.reck. I'm not going to do what somebody did to me. And somebody on here asked a Fivio question. Thank you for bringing that up. I want to be very clear about that Fivio situation. When I found Fivio, it was a group. It was not a solo artist. I met Fivio with two other guys that was in a group with him. Now, all of you that are asking me silly stuff like, am I high? No. And I'm going to block you and you're going to get out of here. If you ask me any silly thing, this is for higher thinkers and smart people. This is not for ignorance. So I found Fivio and JD and another guy named D-Sav. And I gave $5,000 to each person, coming out to a total of 20 bands. The guy who received the money for them, he ran off with the money. So I'm from Harlem. I'm not going to let somebody take 20, and Fivio didn't take the 20. JD didn't take the 20. D-Sav didn't take the 20. The guy who was supposed to be managing them as a group, he ran off with the money. So then that put a weird situation between us because I'm not going to give you another 20. Are you guys understanding that? So after I do not give a new 20, that's going to put some kind of situation between us. But we were kind of cool after that. But what continued to happen, for some reason, they couldn't make flights. They couldn't come to shows that I would book for them at a festival. So after the money running out, and then they didn't show up to the shows, I did what I was supposed to do, fall back on this. Why? Because I'm putting money out here from my family, and I'm using my connections and my resources to book shows, but they weren't showing up. Now, I love Fivio. I love JD. I love D-Sav. And D-Sav, he know that's my heart. And I would look out for him. I'm not in no gang. I'm not about no gang activity. But from a love of a brother, my heart, even today, is to help them in any way I can. So I'm not going to hold any of them in any type of paperwork if we didn't already do anything. If we don't have no business already going, then it's nothing to hold on to. So I'm not that type of person. But to keep going and make it clear, I signed Fivio. My paperwork was honest. My paperwork was clean. It wasn't a 360. I never took any of his publishing. My paperwork doesn't say anything of his publishing. I don't know where y'all got that from. So you got to go back to who you heard that from and now look at that, because that's not in my paperwork. How much money did I give him? I gave him $5,000. Why you only gave him 5? No, I actually gave out 20. He just received 5 of that 20. Why did he only receive 5 of that 20? Because at the time of him being signed, none of you knew of him. None of you knew of him. He was doing drill music, and I knew he would be special. I knew JD would be special. I knew D-Sav and them, if they worked together, they would be special. I go up to the label. I say, I want to call. They said, what's the name of this group? The group name was Demons. They said, we can't sign nobody named Demon, and the album is going to be Demon Time. They told me we can't do that. Now I hear the whole city screaming demon time. Think about this now. So I go and talk to my advisors. I go and talk to the people I know. And they say, you know what? You can't sign them guys. Why? Because they're going to end up in jail, this and that. And we was all at the table. They're like, Mase, please, man, please. I said, I'm going to do it. But y'all got to keep y'all word that y'all going to stay out the streets. And again, I'm just telling you what happened because I don't like people saying stuff about me without it being made true. Since then, we've been good. We never really had no issues, and we never will have no issues. So I'm not saying this like putting them down. I think all of them are amazing. So, moving along. After we go into the record labels, they tell us no for Fivio. They told us no. They told us no for JD. They told us no for DSAP. I said, okay. I got to figure out what we can do. So I had to take time to get my mind around it. Yes, it was months that went by. He said, yo, he's coming periodically every blue moon to Atlanta to record. And he comes up with this creative bounce. But I can't say that I played no part in it. The whole idea of A came from me. Because every time they would think I was lying, I would be like, hey, they'll ask me something I didn't want to answer. And I go, hey, ask JD, ask anybody. So I can't take credit for his success, though. No, but I can take credit that I signed them. And I can take credit that when the deal came, when I went up to, what was that, Def Jam, and I spoke to the people of Def Jam, and they were interested in Fivio as a solo artist, that he went out there and did his thing as he's supposed to as an artist. And when the deal came back around, they said, we're going to give you a certain number. When I come to the office and when I make a call, the money triples. In fact, we ended up doing 5 times more than that first interview and audition for Def Jam because I was involved. And I still did not treat him like just a rapper. So when they said, Mase, you're going to have to sign off on this, I said, before I can sign off on this, I want him. He asked me, him and Bless, yo, Fivio just want this part of his contract back. I said, cool, take it. I was only holding it so that we would have leverage so we can do business like we supposed to, instead of me doing business like what they would have known before getting into the business. Put me on a lie detector test and see if I pass. That was my only purpose for holding it. And the part that I had was like a management fee. It was not no publishing. And when he began to go out and do things, I didn't even want his show money. I gave him 100% of it back. 100%. 100% with no money down. At the closing table. And when they gave us, I came to him and said, I will split it 100% right down the middle. And that's what my paperwork say. That's what my paperwork say. That's what Sony paperwork say. Or Columbia paperwork say. And what people are really mad about, I ended up with the masters. And they don't normally give masters to new artists. And that's why they were mad. Now think of that. And to this day, me and Fivio don't have no issues. People just keep trying to make an issue between me and Fivio and try to put us against each other because their biggest fear is Mase spearheading the new generation. That's their biggest fear, because I'll tell them about all the lies and all the games that people run on them and all these old rappers trying to use their energy. They know I'll say something about that. They know I'll say, instead of getting on a record with him and letting him use you, get a record for yourself. My heart is for the artists. Shout out to m.reck.
You stack ones, yo.
The powers that be enforce the mandate. Every day I wake up, they switching up the landscape. The media mixing lies with the truth. Somewhat COVID, death toll stats is all trumped up. The facts uncovering, got a nigga wondering. They using scared tactics, that fucking fear mongering. I see the drone sitting in the skies hovering. If you didn't know, that's surveillance for the government. Oh yeah. MRecktv.